What's up, you keyboard gangsters? I'm out here on this very frosty New Jersey afternoon to bring you another Underwood product. Yesterday we did a pretty awesome review, in my opinion, of the Underwood Deviled Ham product. We did a bunch of history on the 198-year-old Underwood company. Very interesting, go check that out. I was so impressed with the deviled ham that I went out to my grocery store last night to figure out what other Underwood products they might carry. The only one I could find there was their made with white meat chicken spread. So I scooped this up in hopes that A, it would be just as good as that deviled ham, and B, it might even be a better lunch option than the deviled ham. After tasting the deviled ham, the taste was great. I had one major win for the deviled ham and one sort of loss for the deviled ham. Now the major win for the deviled ham was that there was only like 5 ingredients. I couldn't believe it. A potted meat, a preserved meat product that has like a 4-year shelf life. There's only like 5 ingredients and only one of them is a preservative. There was not a lot of chemistry going on in that deviled ham. Super impressed, couldn't believe it. Tasted great, kind of tasted like bologna, for being completely honest here. The one detractor was that there was a lot of saturated fat. Now I'm by no means a health nut, but I got a lot of shit to do in this life. I'm not trying to check out at 50, so I do try to be conscious of that stuff. In the deviled ham, if you ate the entire can, which let's be honest, obviously you're gonna eat the whole can. There are 2 servings in one of these cans, but obviously you're eating the whole can. There was 10 grams of saturated fat, which is a lot of saturated fat. Now listen, man, I eat bacon by the bucketful, but I do try to be aware of that stuff, and that amount of saturated fat might preclude the deviled ham from being an every week thing. So I was hoping maybe chicken. Chicken's a little leaner, right? Maybe the chicken will solve that problem. Let's dig into the label on this thing. Now we're gonna compare apples to apples. So first let's go through the ingredients list. Way more ingredients in the made with white meat chicken spread here. Ingredient 1. White meat chicken. That's delightful. It's always good when an actual whole ingredient is the first ingredient. Chicken broth, parentheses, water, powdered chicken broth, unparentheses.
Cooked chicken skin, a little gross. Chicken fat, palm oil, dried potatoes, seasoning blend, parentheses, monosodium glutamate, spices, citric acid, wheat starch, chicken fat, dextrose, torula yeast, hydrolyzed soy, protein, extracts of turmeric, caramel color, end parentheses. Salt, dried onion, modified cornstarch, soy protein isolate, soy lectin, natural flavors.
And then it has the allergy warning at the end, contains soy, contains wheat. So a lot more chemistry going on this, but that's kind of what you expect to find in a preserved meat in a can. Let's go up top. For a 1/4 cup, which is 1 serving, it's 130 calories here, whereas it was 180 calories of the deviled ham. The thing you need to understand about calories, I don't care, I'd rather have the extra calories. Calories are so misunderstood in this country. Calories give you energy. The key is to dig into it further. Just telling me how many calories are in something doesn't tell me very much. You need to figure out, well, where are the calories coming from? And that's the next piece. There were 180 calories with 140 of them coming from fat in the deviled ham. There are 130 calories with only 80 of them coming from fat in the white meat chicken spread. Now that's a much better ratio, though you do have to ask yourself, where are the rest of those calories coming from if such a smaller percentage are coming from the fat? Now if it's just fillers and soy lectins and other crap like that, you haven't really won. So you really need to dig in a little bit further. Again, not a health nut, but I don't understand why people wouldn't want to be more aware of what they're putting in their bodies, try to get the most out of it. Going over to the other side of the bar graph here, you have about the same amount of cholesterol and the same amount of sodium that was in the deviled ham. No problem there. 3 grams of carbs in the chicken compared to 1 gram of carb in the deviled ham. That is a negligible stat. 9 grams of protein in the chicken compared to 8 in the deviled ham. Again, a negligible stat, but here is where I kind of had a problem with the deviled ham. There were 5 grams of saturated fat in the deviled ham, which meant when I ate the entire can, I was getting 10 grams, which is well over half of what they recommend you eat in one day. On the chicken, 2.5 grams, literally half the saturated fat. To me, that's a stat that I'd like to at least be aware of. If I'm gonna choose to have something for lunch, assuming this tastes just as good as the deviled ham, I'll probably choose this one just because there's less saturated fat, so why not? Now, let's get under the petticoat. Under this paper wrapping, which is totally unique to Underwood. So Underwood's now owned by B&G Foods. I mentioned yesterday that this stuff is canned, I don't know, 20 miles away from where I am right now in Parsippany, New Jersey. So Underwood is owned by somebody else, but this paper wrapping seems to be unique to them. I've never seen a can wrapped in paper like that in my lifetime. Don't fly away. Now, expiration date. We are sitting here, I don't know, January 28th, 2020. The expiration date is March 22nd, 2023. So that is a good, long shelf life, and the thing that I love seeing, made in the USA. Can you guys get that? Focus, you fork. And I have to come clean to you fine folks. I did an awful, terrible thing. I forgot the stoned wheat crackers. I kind of making this video on a whim. All I had in the Jeep to try this with was a emergency rice cake. Talk about a fall from grace. But I recommend you eat these with stoned wheat crackers, because if you don't, you're wasting everybody's time, and I do not appreciate anyone wasting my time. This chicken does have the same convenient pull tab. Pops right up. I also forgot a fork, so we're gonna do the old Boy Scout thing and make a little spoon out of this guy. All right, I cannot tell a lie. We got the same kind of cat foody smell and appearance. Doesn't look like it mixes up or anything. It's not like separated out at the top. We just sort of have a nice even mixture the whole way through. I actually am seeing some chunks. Let's see if you guys can see it. I don't know if you can tell on the camera. There's like chunks of actual white meat chicken in there. So that's interesting. It's not totally whipped together the way the potted ham, the deviled ham was. Let's get this on a cracker and see how she tastes. Alrighty, now it is colder than communism out here this morning. I think it's about 18 degrees Frankenstein. So you'll excuse me for fumbling around with the mittens. No sense going numb and losing the ability to control the old camera. Got our rice cake. Another snack that a whole lot of people discount. I love them, they're delightful. Quiet down, duck. All right, let's get that on there. What does that taste like? It tastes very familiar. It doesn't have as much of a spiced flavor as the deviled ham. The deviled ham, you could taste the turmeric. This tastes just sort of like, oh, chicken ramen. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like chicken ramen. It is pretty salty in a good way, but I don't know that I'd want to eat it just by itself, like with a fork. You could, and it wouldn't be bad, but I think it'd be a little bit salty doing it that way. It's actually really good on this rice cake because of how bland the rice cake is. Yeah, you know what it is? It's not just chicken ramen. It's like Campbell's chicken noodle soup, like that really basic chicken flavor from your childhood. It's like comforting. It reminds me of a snow day. I'm coming in all frozen from building igloos and chucking snowballs at the neighbor kids, and mom makes you some chicken soup or some chicken ramen. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great comforting flavor. Can't stop eating it, honestly. I am definitely, now I like the deviled ham, but I'm gonna be buying this one for sure. This is gonna be my go-to because it's just as good. And you're saving a few of them fat calories. Why not, you know? I want to show you. I don't know if you can see. There are big chunks of chicken in there. So you're not getting that impression that this is just some crazy McDonald's McNugget whipped skin type thing. Like, there are big chunks of chicken in what you're eating. It's a real food. I totally dig this. This is awesome. I forgot to mention yesterday, both this and the deviled ham are $2.50 a can. Not a bad price in my mind. I would willingly pay that. You spend another $2 on a box of crackers and you have a really nice lunch. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm actively looking for more of these preserved potted meats that I've never tried because I'm finding more and more. I love them. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down there in the squawk boxes. Thanks for coming along on this frosty friggin' morning. My hands are froze. Need to get back to the Jeep. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.